Equations reducible to linear equation with constant coefficients. Here we are going to discuss two types. One is Legendre's linear equation, another one is Cauchy. So here an equation of the form a naught of ax plus b whole square into y double dash plus a1 into ax plus b into y dash plus a2 y equal to pi of x. So this one is called Legendre's linear equation of second order. Here we must check one thing. Here we must have ax plus b whole square into y double dash. This one should be same, and ax plus b power 1 into y dash. Then this one should be reduced to constant coefficients of linear equation. To make that one, we must consider let t equal to ax plus log of ax plus b, or this one we can write it as ax plus b as e power t. Now we differentiate this one. Here dy dash is there. Y dash is nothing but dy in terms of x, dy in terms of dx, but we have written t here. We modify this one, we write it as dy by dt into dt by dx. So here t is there, we differentiate this one with respect to x. So dy by dt into differentiation of this one is 1 by ax plus b into a. So what we get? We modify this one, we can write it as ax plus b into dy by dx can be written as a into dy by dt. In terms of t we get. Similarly, if we differentiate, we get ax plus b whole square into d square y by dx square as, here a is there, a square into d into d minus 1 of t. Now these things we must substitute in the given form. We get the constant coefficients, then we can solve the problems. So if we substitute this one, we get it as what? A naught into a square into d square minus d plus a1 into a into d plus a2 of y equal to function in terms of t we get. Okay, now we solve some problems. Solve 2 minus 3x whole square into y double dash plus 3 times 2 minus 3x into y dash equal to sine of log of 2 minus 3x. Now, so to solve this one, we must consider let t equal to log of 2 minus 3x. So here we write it directly, a 2 minus 3x into y dash can be written as a into dy by dt. So what is a? A is nothing but coefficient of x. Coefficient of x is minus 3. So here minus 3 dy by dt. 2 minus 3x square into y double dash can be written as a square into d square y by dt square. It is nothing but minus 3 square into d square y by dt square minus dy by dt. So we can write it as 9 times d square minus d of t. Now these things we substitute in the equation. We can write it as 9 times d square minus d plus 3 times minus 3 d equal to sine log of 2 minus x is t. So everything is we have written in terms of t. So multiply this one, 9 d square minus 9d minus 9d of t equal to sine t. So this one we modify, d square minus, so 9 I am taking common, 9 square minus 2d of t equal to sin t. So d square minus 2d of t is 1 by 9 into sin t. Now this is the constant differential equation with a constant coefficient. Here 1 and here 2. Now we write the auxiliary equation. Auxiliary equation is what? Writing this as m square minus 2m equal to 0. We take m common, m into m minus 2 equal to 0. M is 0, m equal to 2. Here complementary function we can write it as c1 e power 0. We must write it here, t is there, so we must write 0t plus c2 into e power 2t. Now particular integral is 1 by 9 sin t by d square minus 2d. So here sin t is there, we must substitute d square equal to coefficient of t is here, component of t is 1, so minus 1 should be substituted. So here first we substitute only for d square, so 1 by 9 sin t dividing by, so d square is minus 1 minus 2d. Now rationalize this one, minus 1 plus 2d by minus 1 plus 2d. So what we get? Numerator minus sin t plus 2 times differentiation of sin t by this one, minus 1 square is 1 minus 4 times d square. So d square is what? Minus 1. 1 by 9. So here minus sin t plus sin t differentiation is cos t. 2 times cos t by 1. We are substituting minus for d square is minus 1. We get 2 cos t minus sin t by 5. Now answer is what? Y equal to complementary function plus particular integral. Complementary function is c1 plus c2 e power t square plus 1 by 45 2 times cos t minus sin t. So here e power t is what? E power t is here, e power t is 2 minus 3x. So we substitute here c1 plus c2 into e power t is 2 minus 3x square plus 1 by 45. 2 times cos t is log of 2 minus 3x minus sine of log of 2 minus 3x. Solve 2x plus 1 whole square into y double dash minus 6 times 2x plus 1 into y dash plus 16y equal to 8 times 2x plus 1 whole square. So here we must consider t equal to log of 2x plus 1, or e power t is what? Here 2x plus 1 is there, 2x plus 1. Now we know that 2x plus 1 into y dash can be written as a into dy by dt. So here a is what? Coefficient of x, x is 2 dt. 2x plus 1 whole square into y double dash can be written as a square into d square minus d of t. So a square is what? A is 2, so it is 4 d square minus d of t. Now these two we substitute in the equation. So instead of 2x plus 1 whole square into y double dash, we write it as 4 times d square minus d minus 6 times this one, we can write it as 2 times d plus 16 of t equal to 8 times 2x plus 1 is what? E power t square. So this one we can write it as 8 into e power 2t. Now multiply this one, 4 times d square minus 4d, here minus 12d plus 16 of t equal to 8 times e power 2t. Now this one we can write it as 4 times d square minus 16d plus 16 of t equal to 8 times e power 2t. So this is multiplication of 4, and the right hand side also multiplication of 4. So we divide with the 4, we get d square minus 4d plus 4 of t equal to 2 times e power 2t. Now auxiliary equation of this one, m square minus 4m plus 4 equal to 0. This is nothing but m minus 2 whole square equal to 0. M is 2 comma 2, root is repeated. Now complementary function is what? C1 e power C1 plus C2 t into e power 2t. Particular integral is 2 times e power 2t by d square minus 4t plus 4. So here e power 2t is there, here e power 2t is there, 2 times we get denominator as 0. So what we must substitute? D equal to minus 2. So d equal to here plus 2 is there, so plus 2. 2 times e power 2t by, if we substitute this one, d equal to 2, we get 4 here, minus 8 plus 4 equal to 0. So denominator is 0. Multiply t in numerator and differentiate the denominator. So what we get? 2 times t into e power 2t by, if we differentiate this one, we get 2d minus 4. So once again d equal to 2. So 4 minus 4, denominator 0. So what we must do? Same things, multiply t and differentiate denominator. So what we get? 2 times t square into e power 2t by, differentiation of this one is 2. 2 get cancelled, t square into e power 2t. So answer is what? Y equal to complementary function is c1 plus c2t into e power 2t plus particular integral is 2 square into e power 2t. Now this should be written in terms of x. c1 plus c2 t is log of 2x plus 1 into e power t is 2x plus 1, square is there, so square, plus t is log of 2x plus 1 whole square into 2x plus 1 whole square. Now